Yeah, what's poppin' people? It's your boy Illusionist. And I know you probably like, yo, what happened to the 13? Sorry about that. You know, things came up, things didn't go exactly the way I wanted them to go. But anyhow, past that, one thing I want to do right now is just talk about something that's really been burning me. Recently I was talking to somebody and they were discussing relationships, and the topic came up about a man supposed to be finding his wife and a woman is not supposed to look. Now, that really plus my nerves because nowhere in the Bible does it even say that. It doesn't hint to that. It doesn't actually state that. That's just something that was made up by the people. What it actually comes from is people misquoting the part in the Bible where it says, blessed is a man who finds a wife. Now when it's talking about blessed is a man that finds a wife, yeah, blessed is a man that finds a wife. They're telling you that when a man comes across a wife, a woman that actually lives a wife lifestyle, not just a woman that he's with, but a woman that will be a wife, he has found a good thing. So that's what they mean by that. Not he goes out searching with doing like he's doing a scavenger hunt. It's blessed is a man that comes across a wife in his walk through life and actually receives her. And then the other part where they're messing up is with the story of Ruth. They're taking the story of Ruth and saying that that's a representation of a man-woman relationship. Now, the actual story of Ruth is supposed to be a representation of newcomers to, well, not even newcomers to God during the Old Testament. But if you want to take it as a story of a man and a woman, we can do that. Check it. Now, first thing I want to point out is the fact that when they talk about Ruth being in the field and she's gathering all the plants, and that's a symbol of a woman and how she's supposed to gather stuff for her life, lie. It's a straight up and down lie. What it's actually saying is that a woman or even a man, any believer in Christ or believer in God, is supposed to be living a purpose-driven life. You're supposed to go out there and do what God has commissioned you to do for that time in your life. And as you go through your life, you will find somebody who God has set for you. Now, you may be wondering how I even come to that. Let me break it down for you. Now, cutting through a lot of the story, getting down to the point where they're in Israel. Ruth and Naomi. Naomi's an old woman. She's a widow. Ruth is a widow. Ruth says, look, Naomi, I'm going to go out here and I'm going to earn some money for us so that we can support ourselves pretty much. She goes and she works in the field. While she's in that field, minding her business, living a purpose-driven life, supporting herself in a decent manner, a man named Boaz comes out. Boaz was the supervisor of that field. He says, hey, yo, who's that? They tell her it's Ruth, the girl that's been taking care of the mother-in-law, Naomi, and he respects her for that. Now, first flaw. If we were going to say that Boaz was doing this because he liked her, then what we're basically representing is that no godly man can have a righteous intent for any woman without having a relationship in mind. And that's not the truth. Boaz did this because she was doing something admirable and he wanted to make sure that he was assisting her. So if you want to say that you're learning something about a godly man, you're learning that a real godly man can deal with a woman and help her out and assist her with living her purpose-driven life. That's the first sign that you may have somebody, or at least that you're dealing with a man of God and a man of valor. Now, after that, they go through the whole process. She takes her stuff home. She lets Naomi know. Well, she met this man named Boaz. He was real nice. He hooked her up, helped her out, had other people to help her out and get the purpose that she needed taken care of. Naomi knew who he was. Naomi knew the whole purpose and benefit of him, which was a kinsman redeemer. Now, he was not the first kinsman redeemer. He was one of the people on the list. So after they get finished with all of the other stuff, going through the harvest, they're finished with the job. Naomi goes to her and she's like, Ruth, that man, he's your kinsman redeemer, so I want you to go get sexy, put on a nice outfit, get some nice smelling perfume, and when the man is drunk and he goes back to his place and he lays down, I want you to uncover his feet. Now that's something right there that we don't tell people. Right there, the woman is the aggressor. Oh yeah, see, because she was raping, she pretty much attempted rape. Oh, yeah, see, that's the part that they also don't want to mention. They always want to tell you the woman sets aside, she waits on the man, she uncovers the feet, but they don't emphasize the fact she pretty much was raping the man. And you say, that's not rape, she uncovered his feet. You come to a man's place after he ain't gone from partying and he went back there sloppy drunk, and you let him wake up and see a woman laying there, and you tell me what's going to happen next. It ain't no cognizance to that. You already know what his mindset's going to be. Naked woman. But it just happened that in this set of events, Boaz was a good man, and he recognized her, and he said, you know what, I got a lot of respect for you. There's a certain process we got to go through to do this, so I'm going to go through that. So basically what you can learn, if you want to say this is a male-female relationship lesson, is that any man that you with is going to go through the right procedures. That means it's not going to be any, yo, let's sample the sex before we get married. I tell you what, how about I go and have this open relationship, we going to break up for a little while because Christmas coming up and I can't buy a gift for you, or I want to see what other women are out there, so let me go sample the pot, while we still dating. No, it's going to be, he knows the process and he's going to go through it straight. Now, after that, Boaz goes to the other guy, the person that she was technically supposed to be with according to the Jewish law. And he says, hey, you can get this land, but you also got to take the woman. The guy says, I don't want the woman. So then Boaz takes her and he goes through the process. Now, one of the main reasons I want to say that we shouldn't be looking at this as man-woman relationship, first of all, even though Boaz did commit to her, even though they did have kids, it doesn't really tell you about the affection level between them, other than the fact that there was a respect and an admiration for them both being upright people. He said she was a virtuous woman. He was going to respect that. He wasn't going to have anybody looking down upon her. Out of that, it was Boaz's duty as an unmarried man on the family chain, if it came to him, to take that option. And he was the one that took that option up. Now, he knew that he had a good woman. Blessed is a man that finds a wife. He wasn't out looking for Ruth. He just happened to be living his purpose-driven life and come across a woman that fit the qualities of wife, and he accepted that woman for her qualities. Now, past that, we don't know whether they actually grew to love each other, whether they loved each other in the first place, whether they even really cared in that kind of manner. We just knew that they feel the purposes of what the traditional customs were for that time. So this whole romantic thing that people kicking, I'm sorry, it's real cute when you tell it, but it's not the real story. So from now on, ladies, learn the whole point of this story. You want to use it as a man, woman, and even the story of Esther, is that if you're going to get a man, you need to be driven by someone that has wisdom, that has godly wisdom. And where else would you get some godly wisdom? There's none wiser than the Father himself. So you need to stay connected with the Father, let him drive you and lead you through the Spirit to who might be your man. He may send you up there to say, hello, how you doing? Let's go out on a date. Or he may just tell you to play the background and let that man approach you. You never know. But as long as you're living a purpose-driven life and you're doing the work that God has set forth for you, when God sees the time for you to connect with somebody and to meet your mate, he will do that for you. But all this, you sitting back, you waiting for a man to come? Nah, that's not the game plan. And that's the same for men. Men don't need to be out here searching for a wife, hunting her down, going to dating sites and all that stuff. You need to be out in the church. You need to be doing mission work. You need to be witnessing, evangelizing the people. And then when it comes, it comes. It's God's plan. It's God's way to work it out, not ours. Any questions, hit me up. Facebook, Twitter, email addresses on the account. Until then, be a blessing.